Right now I'm about to show you how to use Google Docs. First, you need a Gmail account in order to access it, and if you log in on the top left corner, you'll see tabs, and from there you click on Documents and it will lead you to the Google Docs site. And from here you could create new files, upload files, download files, and even share files. Google Docs is basically where you do your work online, and it saves online, so you don't have to worry about it saving it on your computer. And you could always download the files to your computer, so you could access it through computer files instead. And from here, this is a list of files, and all these files are the ones that I worked on before. It automatically saves before you could even save it in case your internet shuts down out of nowhere. And it shows you all the works that you've done and you've seen were the works that people share with you. Let's start over here. This is the create new button where you could create new files like documents, presentations, PowerPoints, spreadsheets, forms, drawings, and folders so that you could organize all your files. I haven't organized my files yet, so they're like listed on one page. And in here, these categories show you how you could see your files differently by the ones that you own, were open, were the files that were actually shared to you, stuff you start, hidden, you threw in trash, were by type like files, documents, presentations, spreadsheets, or drawings. And you could also search them by their name if you have like numerous amounts of files. And if you create new folders, it will show here, and you could access your folders to here, and you could just put your files to your folders by clicking on the check marks. And then here it shows you a folders tab. If you click on it and you click on the folder where you want to put your files to, and you click apply changes, and then you'll be able to see those files on that folder. And you could also share your photos with other people, and people could also share it with you. If you want to access your computer files like Word document, PowerPoint presentations, Excel, those stuff online, you could just upload them online to your Google Docs, and you could access them right away. And then here it shows the stuff that you could do to the existing files. There's two views that you could use. One is thumbnails, like these pictures, and one is by list. And if you use list, it will show you which folder your files are in and who you are sharing with. And it also shows you the date where you last accessed it, and who accessed it also if you're sharing the file. By clicking on the files, you could share the files by other people by inviting them, and you could also see who has access to it. You could delete them, rename them, and if you go to more actions, you could store them for specific files, hide them, or change the owner for mark unviewed, and even export it. You could also view your files differently, like by start, or by name, last modified, or last viewed. You could, if you create a new file like document, you just go to create new and press document, and it will lead you to another pop-up. And from here, you could type your word, and you could start typing immediately, like hello, this is an AP biology student. And from here you could change the styles, like headings and the stuff. The fonts, there's not that much variety of fonts, but they give you fonts that are used for paperwork. And you could change the font size, bold, italics, underline, color, text background color, highlights, and you could even add links to it with bullets and outline it in different places, and you could even spell check it. And on here it shows you the regular tabs you see in also in Microsoft Word. and it has basically everything you could think about, like inserting images for drawings, tables, equations. You could even add comments and footnotes and the special characters. So these files online from Google Docs is basically just nothing different from the actual computer files that you would have. Just that using Google Docs will be easier for you to use if you use the internet a lot and you send your files through to your teachers a lot. And Gmail is also a great source to use when sending files to your teachers or friends. And if you go back to Google Docs here, if you see that there's also presentation spreadsheet, which is the PowerPoint presentation, and the spreadsheet is the Excel. And they're also basically almost the same that you have as the Microsoft softwares in your computer. So there should be no worry in how you could use it, because they're basically the same. It's just that Google Docs is a simplified version of creating files and exporting them, downloading them. There's several ways that you could download your files, like if it's a Microsoft Word file, you can download it as a PDF file, an RTF file, or just HTML and text for Word. And the word that you type actually automatically saves before you can press the save button. So there's basically nothing different from the computer files. It's easy to use, and if you want to find more about of how you can use Google Docs, you should get a Gmail account and you should access Google Documents and you should test it out, like explore all the stuff that they have. The features that they have will always change. And don't forget that there's like a limited amount of files you can have. Like you cannot have an infinite file. There is also a limit. When you share your files with others, you could allow them to view your work or also edit it. Like 10 people could edit one file at once if you guys are online together. And if you're sharing a file, like this is an example that I did for AP Biology. If you're sharing your file with other students, they will have this tab in the right corner saying who's editing this presentation or who's viewing this presentation. And if you guys are both online, you guys could also chat. When the person on the line just click on this place and you guys are able to chat together. And you could edit the files at once, like in different places. Just be careful not to press on the same thing at once because that might lag your computer. And as you can see, this PowerPoint, it's like a regular Microsoft PowerPoint presentation that you have in your computer. It's nothing really different. And you could even start the presentation online. So there's really no worry in using Google Docs. This is really easy, really simple, and really useful for you to use to have your files online so you could access it anywhere with internet without having your computer or your files with you. And in case your computer crashes, your files will be automatically saved online, so you don't have to worry about it. It's a good thing to use Google Docs because if you have computers that don't have Microsoft software or they're not good, or if you're in a hurry to send your files, you could just use Google Docs to email your files to people or post them online like in webs and blogs. And you could even post like pictures and tables and charts to your files. And really, if you want to find more about Google Docs, you should just get a Gmail account, which is really simple to use and really simple to make. And you should access the Google Docs and just explore anything you can and start using it. And then you'll find out how easy and simple it is to use Google Docs. Thank you.